and welcome to How to Cook Great Food. With thousands of recipes and millions of views, why not subscribe to our channel and join the family?
Welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. If you haven't already, please click that button and subscribe to our channel. On the menu today, and as you can see right here, I've just finished this. We're making a lamb Salona, or a kind of Middle Eastern Arabic stew. We've got some lovely chunky lamb in there, beautiful spices, got some cinnamon in there, black lemon, cardamom, vegetables galore. I've got in there potatoes, carrots, bell peppers, eggplant, onions, garlic, ginger. Really, really beautiful. It takes a little while to cook. The most famous dish of this is actually made with chicken. Chicken Salona is more famous, but this is, equally. And like I said, it's just a stew. No set way of going about it. Just the spices. Let's go and do it. Okay, let's take a look at some of the ingredients. We're going to start off with the meat. There's going to be some more ingredients to be added, lots of vegetables and a few more spices. Right, so I've got a lamb here. Lots of bone in there, as you may see. A little bit of fat on it. I mean, there's some chunky, lovely bits of bone there. Bit of fat on there, which I need as well. That really helps the flavour. Okay, at the back are powders. So the powders I've got are equal parts of. It's about a teaspoon each of cumin powder, turmeric, and coriander powder. Here I've got some whole spices. I've just got one large red dried chilli, a few white peppercorns, but they could be black if you wanted, a few green cardamoms, and here I've got a dried lime. If you can't get these, you can maybe get them in a powder form at your supermarket, but yeah, it's just a black lemon or lime. Gives a fantastic and essential flavour to this dish. We are going to be adding, like I say, some potatoes, carrots, and some aubergine. You can add anything you like, really. So let's first of all get over to the cooker. We're going to start off with a little bit of oil and a touch of salt and pepper. Okay, so in a large pan, and you're also going to need a lid for this, guys. I've got some oil. I'm using an olive oil in there today. You could use a different type, no problem. Let's first of all get our lamb in. Now this is going to take a while to cook because we want to get this really nice and tender. You could use a pressure cooker if you wanted for this process. It will speed things up somewhat. So in they go. A little bit of salt. And here I've got some pepper. I've got a coarse ground black pepper. So we're going to go in now with that dried red chilli and the peppercorns and the cardamom. With the dried lemon, it's usually good if you just put a few holes in it with a fork, just to kind of release. As you can see, I've just stuck that in there. Out it comes. That will release the flavour from inside. So we're just going to brown this meat for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. We'll move on to the next stage. So we've got a little bit of colour now onto our meat, obviously nowhere near cooked, but we're certainly on our way. Now onions, I'm going to put in some chopped red onion. You could use white if you wanted. And to that I'm going to add some garlic ginger paste, which is a 50-50 mix of garlic and ginger. If you want, you could just put it in roughly chopped. Okay, now for our powders. So those 3 powders we spoke about earlier, equal parts of turmeric, coriander, and cumin. And again, on this kind of, above medium heat. Let's cook this for another 4 minutes. Stirring all the time now. We don't want our powders to burn, they'll get bitter. This is coming along absolutely beautifully. Really happy with this. Now, simply at this stage, we're going to put some water in, some cold water. Give that a stir. Now, I want to bring that to the boil, and then I want to kind of, not a simmer, above a simmer, cook this, because that meat, as you can see, is quite chunky. So we need to give this a good kind of 30 minutes, I would say, depending on the size of your meat, but I've really got some big hefty pieces there, so 30 minutes with a lid on. Give it a stir every now and then. When we come back, we'll start adding some more ingredients. Okay, let's jump in and take a look. Let me get all this steam out first. There you go. So this has been going about 30 minutes, but we're still kind of on our way. Wonderful smells coming from this. Now, some people would add, like I say, there's so many ways of making this, no set one way. Some people would add some bay leaves, cinnamon, fennel seeds, or other spices. I'm actually going to drop in a bit of cinnamon now. It's totally optional. Now I'm going to go in with a few carrots, chunky cut, and some fresh tomatoes. Again, chunky cut. They're going to cook and kind of break down anyway, those tomatoes. Now what we want to be doing, we're going to be adding, well today I'm going to be adding some potatoes to this and some aubergines or eggplant, but you can add anything you like. You could be putting celery in. If you added celery, for example, you'd put that in now with the carrots. And yeah, so you're basically putting your hardest vegetables in now and your softest ones at the latest stage. So you've got to make sure that you do this first process of getting this meat as tender as you can, because once these vegetables are cooked and that's not right, it's all over. It's a disaster. So that's what I mean. That 30 minutes that we just done really makes sense, because we're now adding the vegetables. Okay, so let's just get the heat up a little bit higher. I just turned it down for a moment. Constantly we can be adding water to this. Now this is, like I said at the beginning, Salona is not like a thick stew. It's more like a kind of soup in a way. It's not like a kind of thick curry or a big stew. So yeah, it's quite watery, you know, in its makeup. So we're going to be adding lots of more water to this. Don't be frightened just to add a little, you know, a centimetre here or there. You certainly don't want it to get dry. Okay, lid back on. I'm going to be back in about 6 to 7 minutes. Okay, so as you can see, this is raging away and doing its thing. Now I'm going to add in some potatoes. I've peeled my potatoes and they're big and chunky. Nice kind of big, hefty sizes. Now sort of some eggplant or aubergine or brinjal, whatever you call it. In they go again. Nice and chunky. So as you can see, we need more water. In it goes. Now I'm using water, but you could of course use a stock, a chicken stock or a meat stock if you wanted to. I just prefer the water in this one. So, lid on, bring that back to the boil, then just give that a little simmer, let's say for about another 6-7 minutes. Okay, one more look, more steam out, there's plenty of that. That's looking great. Now my last vegetable I'm going to put in is some bell pepper, some green bell pepper for this one. Then I'm going to add some fresh cilantro or coriander, whatever you call that. Now on a simmer, I'm going to let this go for maybe about another 6 or 7 minutes. Let's just get our vegetables cooked nicely, and then we're ready to roll. See you then. Okay, off goes the heat. Let's jump in. There you go. I'm super happy with that. Now check that out for salt. You might want to add a bit more salt to that. I'm okay with it. So there we go. We've got a lovely stew or hefty soup. Like I say, it's kind of deliberately this kind of consistency. Now, like I say before, any vegetables work. You can put, you know, mushrooms in it, just whatever you like. I've even seen this several times with chana or chickpeas in there. Anything goes. Hope you enjoy that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you soon. Lots of love.
With thousands of recipes and millions of views, why not subscribe to our channel and join the family?